multitask, but when you multitask, you have to have multi-concentration as well. Wow. I'm sorry. It puzzled me because Zechariah was 120 years of age at the time of John the Baptist. His wife Elizabeth was 39 years of age. That means that Zechariah was 81 years older than his wife. 81 years older than his wife. I know y'all say that's perverted. No, that was the nature of God. It was not meant for a woman to not bear children at a young age. And we know that men can always have children. And as far as the age, it had nothing to do with it because you got to remember, age is a number invented by man. Spirit don't age. The spirit inside of the person does not age. The only thing age is the body that the spirit lives in. It's like a house. As the years go, the wood and stuff begins to lose its form, its strength. But it's only the house, it's not the people in the house, you know. So it's only the body. And if man would live according to the way of the Most High, then the body will live the full lifespan of 120 years. You know, 1 year is 1,000 years to the messengers of God. So time is totally different from what we perceive it as. We're talking about time on earth. But I don't want to get into that. I just want you to understand that back in the day, young women were considered women at 12 and 13 years old. Not at 21, not at 18. The minute that the young lady was able to start her menstruation, she became a woman. Because the minute that they started their menstruation, they were able to conceive children. That means that the children inside their ovaries were developed enough to come into this world. Back in the day, you got to remember that a young girl was taught and trained how to be a mother from the time she was able to, from the time she was born, from the time she was able to walk and talk. And she was always with mother, learning from mother, watching mother, observing mother, pretending that she was mother, doing the things that she seen mother do. So she was being trained even as a child how to be a mother. And if she had a good mother, she was trained well. If she had a virtuous mother, she was not only trained well, she was taught for holiness, righteousness, love. Because in love, there's righteousness. There's no ill or wrong in morning and feel. Love is not a feeling. Love is an action. An action. It's a way of life. It's a culture. Love. You know, you can't talk about God and not talk about love because you've always been taught, and your scriptures teach you that God is love. You say I'm not a Christian, so I can talk to you like this. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not an Israelite. I'm not a Jehovah Witness. I'm not a Mormon. I'm no man-made religion because I only have one religion. I don't have many. All the religions that I spoke are religions of the world, not the religion of the Most High, not the religion of God the Father. See, we always talk about God the Father, but we never talk about the Most High, the creator of the Father, the one that all life comes from. I have people tell me, it's not male nor female. Yes, it is male and female. Look, as it is in heaven, so is it on earth. Look, if it's male and female on earth, there's male and female in heaven. Scripture says that the ones you call angels, the Anakis, the Serahims, and the cherubims, which are the holy angels and the ones that were holy who fell from God's grace. They fell because they refused to walk in the teachings that they had, the teachings of the law of love. They refused to walk in love. They wanted to go against God and do things they were, like our children do today. As it is in heaven, so shall it be on earth. So by going against the will of the Creator, the one who created us, the one who formed us and shaped us and know how we work and what's good for us, we 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 don't want to listen to that one. We want to do things our way. We want to be the overseers of our life. But we don't know the way. We don't know how the body works because we're not the creators of the body. Even the scientists today don't know how the body works. They study the body to try to figure out how it works so that they can have dominion over the body. Man wants dominion because God is a leader. And it's in his nature to be a leader. The only thing is that he does not know how to lead. God does. The reason God knows how to lead is because God created us. But I think sometimes we forget that in the scriptures, I'm just talking scriptures. You can believe what you want. I'm just giving you everything I speak. It's scripture. Some of the things you speak are of the world because they were given to you by the world. Scriptures bear witness with one another, no matter how many different ways they come to you, no matter how many different books they come to you in, they all still bear witness of the same thing. They all still speak of that one purpose, that purpose of man and woman, which is the purpose of love. God created good and evil. God did, at least according to the scripture. Because just like male and female has to be in God, Good and evil has to be in God. It's two of everything. It's a up and it's a down. It's an in and it's a out. You know, it's two of everything. There's a right and there's a wrong. There's no in between. There's never been an in between. That's why he said you can't stagger the fence, because if you stagger the fence, that make then you're lukewarm. To be lukewarm makes him want to spit you out his mouth. Makes him not want to speak of you, not want to call you his. You know, it's like the son is yours, but he's disobedient, always doing wrong. You really don't want to acknowledge that this is your son, but you love him, and you it's a part of you that you just don't want to acknowledge. And I say a part of you because your children learn from you. You're the first example. See, that's why I try to get everyone to see that the God that you speak about in the book, even though it's in many different parables, and parables are nothing but stories, even though it's been given to us in many different stories, it teaches how to operate the machinery that we've been given charge of. That's your body. That's you. You're a creator just like God. You were made in the image and likeness of God. Think about that. To be made in an image, to be made like him, the likeness of God. Men, women, and I'd rather say woman. I'm going to ask you a question, and you can just type it in the comment box. And this question goes to the women. How many women, under the sound of my voice, truly believe that they are God's supreme beings? How many of you women believe that you are the first and most important thing on earth and in heaven? You know, they tell you heaven is a state of being, it's a righteous state of mind, and that's a heaven too, but there's a lot of things they say heaven is. But the heaven we're talking about is the heaven that's the see, in heaven is peace. In heaven there's gentleness and kindness, and in heaven there's everything good. Nothing's evil in heaven. Evil was kicked out of heaven and sent down here to the earth. So the earth is full of evil. Evil is everywhere you go on the earth. You can't get away from evil. Evil is all around us. Only in heaven is there peace. I used to tell people, and I still do, that my heaven, I'm not talking about your heaven, I'm talking about my heaven, the one that I'm at peace with, the one that I'm at comfort with, the one that I love. My heaven is between the legs of the black woman. That's my heaven. And for any man that laid between the legs of a virtuous woman, black woman, he knows that's the heaven. Because he has a peace that's beyond man's understanding. beyond man's understanding, not woman. She gives that peace. We're talking about a virtuous woman. We're not talking about just any woman. See, when I talk, y'all want to always put yourself in certain categories. But in order to put yourself in certain categories, it can't be tight. The shoe can't be loose. You want to know what a virtuous woman is, then you just go and read your Proverbs. It talks about a virtuous woman in Proverbs. I think it's the 31 chapter of Proverbs. Yeah, I believe it's the 31st chapter of Proverbs. I think it started somewhere around the 22nd verse, I think. I'm not sure. It's been a while since I read it. I can pull it up and tell you where it's at. I speak on this all the time. I defy the teachings of the prophets and the teachers of today because they never tell you who God is. They leave the woman out. They leave her presence out. That's what they say. In the privacy of just them. They didn't share with us what they talked about, the commandments that they agreed upon. And we, being the children of stars, we were to follow them commandments. We were to walk in them ways. We were made in their image, made in their likeness. That's God. That's us. That supreme being, that's the mother, the creator of all life. The one that man's very life comes from. I keep telling you that the scriptures are given to you in parables. Parables is like a puzzle. You got to put it together to really come up with the truth. If you don't put the puzzle together rightly, then you're, or what they call it, you'll not have the full outlook, the full structure. It won't be fully together. So if it's not fully together, that means there's an opening somewhere for things to seep in and seep out. But they never talk about the mother in the churches. And it's funny because it seems like the woman would always be asking, what about us? But I know they teach the women that she's to be silent, that she's not to say anything. She's not to speak. I mean, that's what they teach. But I see the mother all through the Bible, all through the scriptures, all through that holy word. But I told you I see God different than most people. See, I see God as us. I don't see God outside of us. God is you, God is me, God is us as a whole. There's no other God beside us. There isn't. And when I say beside us, I mean us. See, you got different gods from different nations, from different culture, from different ways. And then you got the true gods. And what makes them true is because their way is a way of life. It's a way of righteousness. It's a way of love. It's a way of truth. So they being of that God makes them the leaders of the world. Makes them the teachers. When you can read that book and understand that the book is talking about you, no God outside of you, and it tells you that God is within you, not outside of you. So if God is within you and ye are God's, which God are you? Are you a God of love or a God of hate? That's all we're talking about, which God you are. Because we done already came to the conclusion that ye are God's. What conclusion we have not come to is which God you are. We can't come to that conclusion until we see your actions, because your actions is going to show us which God you are. Your words are going to speak and tell us which God you are. But we're asking you to look in that perfect mirror, that mirror of self, to see self for who you really are and ask yourself, are you the God that you claim you are? Or are you just faking God, pretending to be a God of the one that you seek, but yet not the one that you strive to be like? God don't give you but one law. It's the same law that the mother gave you in the home. I want you to think about that. I want you to think about the law that the mother gives to the house. I want you to think about that law that the mother gives to the children and to the husband. Think about that law. Think about what law it is. Because the mother only gave you one law. See, in today's world, we give thanks and glory to the man, but we don't want to give thanks and glory to the source of life. I praise the black woman. I've always praised the black woman. I've always looked up unto the black woman. It was the black woman that taught me what life truly was and truly is. It was the black woman that taught me what righteousness was. It was the world that taught me what unrighteousness was. It was the black woman that taught me to seek my own, those who were of me. Family first. Family over everything. It was the black woman in my life who taught me love, who taught me how to speak, how to love. Now, I'm not saying that I always did this. I'm not saying I always loved, because I have not always loved. I was young and running from love because the world was teaching me the opposite of love. And I was so busy chasing the world, wanting to prove myself to the people that I was associating with. I didn't want to prove, I wasn't thinking about proving myself to me that I could be all that the mother had prescribed for me. I was too busy trying to prove to the people that I could be what they wanted me to be. And they didn't want me to be nothing but crooked, evil, thieves. You know, they wanted you to steal with them, lie with them, deceive with them, you know, kill with them. But in the home, at least in my home, there was no competition. There was no competing. There was a unity of working together. When you went out the house, you went out the house to work. And whatever you got while you were working, you brought it back home to the house where you live. You wasn't working for just you. You was working for the house. The whole house. You didn't go get a job just for you. You got a job to help sustain the house. And as the family grew, the house grew. The house grew. Why did the house grow? Because the family grew. And they needed more room in the house, so more room was added on. The house was built up and spread it out. That's why you got to have plenty of land. And your children grew up with you, and your grandchildren grew up with you, and your great-grandchildren grew up with you, and the house grew up with you, and it was passed down. And what made it so good was that the family kept growing. So it became to the point that you had to get separate houses because you can only build up so far and only build out so far. But the houses were built right there, one next to another. They were in the same community. They were right next to each other because it was all family. It can go even deeper than that. But we seem to forget that part. And everybody that's born in the family ain't family. All skin folks ain't kinfolk. You feel me? Because when you look at the scriptures, you see when it was two brothers, there was always one against the other. There was one good and one bad. There was one for righteousness and one for lawlessness. It's the same way in life today. So you don't have to make God outside of you. What you got to do is find the God that is in you. We don't talk about that because we don't want to take responsibility for the gods that we are. We don't want to see ourselves as gods because to see ourselves as gods means that we have to walk a certain way. We have to walk as we talk. We have to watch what we say. Because we are gods, we're leaders, we're creators. The children that you have, that's your creation. You created them. They are what you made them into be. Because if you had taught them different, if you had raised them different, if you had raised them in a way of righteousness and love, that's what they would be. But you taught them eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. You kill me, I'm going to kill you. You taught them death, destruction, immorality. You taught them everything opposite of what you believe is righteous. So now, whose fault is it that you have all these devils on the earth? It's God's fault. Your fault. Because that God is you. That God is us. We taught our children about marriage and how faithful marriage is supposed to be, but we didn't show our children marriage, not faithfulness. There are some, and we give praise to them. But even in their faithfulness, they deceived one another. And I'm not talking about all. If the shoe don't fit, don't try to put your foot in it. But those who are fit, I want you to know, if you wasn't showing love to your spouse, then you wasn't showing love to your children. How you gonna tell your child to go get a wife or a husband and they looking at the way that y'all living? Why would they want them to go out in the world and do this to others like you taught them to do? Oops, I'm sorry. Like you spoke to them that you wanted them to do. Not like you taught them. You didn't teach them, because to teach means to be able to show. It means to act it out. See, a true teacher, you can look at the teacher and see the way to go. You don't even have to ask the teacher, because his walk is going to go according to that he teach. That's deep, ain't it? That's deep, ain't it? So Zechariah, the father of John the Baptist, Elizabeth, the mother of John the Baptist. At the time of John's birth, y'all would say, well, that's old enough to be the granddaddy. No, that's old enough to be the father, because that's what he was, the father. Why? Because that virtuous woman, Elizabeth, chose him and anointed him with counsel to be the man that he was. She was a virtuous woman. She loved him. He did not worry with her. She laughed. Man, how we gonna have children as old as I am and as old as he is? 81 years older than me. How we gonna have children? And who gonna help me raise the children? He's 81 years older than me. How long does it take to raise children? Is it not true by the time the children get 7 or 8 years old? It's not. You can't teach them no more than already. The foundation been laid. All you can do is build on the foundation that you laid. Usually by the time they get 5, the foundation is laid. But to make it solid, you want to work from 5 until about maybe 12. Because 12 is the year that the young mans are supposed to be becoming men. By the time he get 13, he's supposed to be a man. He's supposed to think like a man, act like a man, no longer doing childish things. You don't stay a child forever. That's what the world teach. That's what the world wants you to do. That's what the world wants you to be a process of. But you don't teach your children to stay a child. You teach your children to become adults. Your job is to educate them about life. So that when she become a woman, when she start her menstruation, she knows what it is to be a woman. Him, when he becomes 13, he knows what it is to be a man. Back in Jewish days, he took his first big, what you call it? His first, it's right on the tip of my tongue. You know, when you prove that you're in your manhood, you put the cloth on and you speak your first sermon. You know, you hold your first right there in the house among your people. You talk about your culture, your way. You talk to the older to let them know that you have learned the way, and you talk to the younger to teach them how you have grown in the way. And you pass your culture down. Bis funk, what you call it? Bis, God, it just came to me. You know, but you know what I'm talking about. If you're a Jew, you know what I'm talking about. Well, I can't even pronounce it. But you know what I'm talking about. Every young man have in the Jewish household. We ought to still have them. We used to have them. We used to welcome our young men into manhood. We used to teach our young man that his job was to grow up and seek for him and find him a wife. You know, it said he that find a wife, find it a good thing. Find you a wife, brother. Find you a good thing. But a wife is a virtuous woman, not a harlot. You got to look at what your mother told you when it comes to different women. You know, the mother speaks to you in the book about the women that you should look for and the women that you should stay away from. Have y'all not read that in the book? Yes, she does. Yes, she does. So we, her people, and she, meaning her sons, the sons of her pastor, we should be giving thanks forever. We should be praising her forever to all generations. The black woman, the mother, the creator of our very existence. Not going against her, not speaking ill of her. I don't know about your mother. I'm just speaking about my mother and what my mother was to me. She was the mother, the creation of my family. Sometimes we struggle with the mother. You know, sometimes we struggle with the mother. That struggle with the mother was her righteousness against ours, her love against ours, her truth against ours. She's the one who sat above the cherubim. She's the one that shined forth. So that's why I say we should always give thanks unto God, our mothers, the creator of our life, the source of life, and the Father. We should do it all in the name of the mother who saves all, and in the name of our anointed sons, us, who walk in the teachings of the mother. The one anointed with the love of the mother, you know, given to him, you know, given to him by the Father, taught him, and I'm trying to get the light from going out, that's why you see. But the Father is the one who taught him and said unto him, let your heart not retain my words. Let your heart retain my words. In other words, let your heart, where the Spirit lives, let it retain my words. Let it keep my words ever before it. Keep my commandments, son, and live. That was the Father's teaching if you read it in the book. He told the son to get wisdom, and he told the son that wisdom was the mother. He said, get the mother, get understanding, get it from the mother, and forget it not, neither decline from the words of her mouth. Neither decline from the words of his mouth, who told her to forsake her not. That if he forsake her not, that she would preserve him and love, if he would just love her, that she would keep him. Wisdom, the mother. He told his son, it's in the scriptures. He told his son, he said, wisdom, speaking about the mother, is the principal thing. That means the first thing, the most important thing. Therefore, he say, get wisdom. Get the mother. He says it again. And with all thy getting, get understanding, which comes from the mother. She is understanding. She knows what keeps kingdoms together and what makes kingdoms fall. She's the creator of the kingdoms. The father tells the son to exalt the mother. He tells the son that if he exalts the mother, that she will promote him. Her knowledge, her wisdom will promote him. That she would bring him to honor when he embraced her teachings, because she taught love, and love brings honor. He taught her that the mother shall give to his head an ornament of grace. grace. Grace is known as our help. A crown of glory shall she deliver to him. I guess that's why it says in the Bible that a woman is the glory of man. The crown of glory that sits upon his head. Because she's his crown. He told his son to him to receive his sins so that the years of his life should be many. He taught his son in the way of the mother. He told his son, I have led thee in right paths to honor and exalt the mother. That's the right path. He told his son that when he goes, that his steps should not be unstraightened. When he run, that he should not stumble, but he should hold fast onto the instructions and let the mother not go, but to keep her, for she is thy life. The mother, the woman. He even talked to his sons who were simple and showed them, he said, look, how long will you simple ones, my sons? Will you love simplicity? How long will you mockers delight themselves in mockery and fools hate knowledge? You simple ones. He said, look, turn at his reproof. And he said he would pour out his spirit on them and will make known his words to them. A lot of y'all don't want his words to be made known to you. Because if you did, you would listen to him when he said to turn your ear to wisdom, to the mother, and apply your heart to understanding, the mother. Yes, if you call out for discernment and you lift up your voice to the mother for understanding of what holds a people together, what holds a kingdom together, what holds a family together, if you would seek her as silver and search for her as a hidden treasure. I tell you, happy is the man who finds the mother, who finds wisdom, who finds the woman, the man who gets understanding. I'm talking about a virtuous woman. I'm not talking about any type of woman. Because a virtuous woman, her good profits is better than getting silver, and her return is better than fine gold. That's right. I'm going to say it again. Her good profits, is better than getting silver. And her return from the understanding that you get from her is better than fine gold. She's more precious than rubies. None of the things you can desire are to be compared to the woman, to that virtuous woman. With that virtuous woman, the length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand are riches and honors. You always heard them say, the man who is married lives longer. Her ways are ways of pleasantness. Her paths are paths of peace. Because she teaches that to her children. She demands that. She's a tree of life to those who lay hold of her. I'm talking about a virtuous woman, not just any woman. Some of y'all had mothers who was virtuous women. Some of y'all had grandmothers who was virtuous women. Happy is everyone who retains her. So I tell you fools, you simple ones, you who don't understand prudence, be of an understanding heart. Seek that virtuous woman. Seek that understanding she have. I don't even know why there's money in the hands of a fool. Because a fool ain't going to go by wisdom. You can't buy the mother. Why to get the mother? Because you have no understanding. See, the mother tells you that an unfriendly man pursues selfishness, and most of the mans that you're around, are seeking selfishness. They're seeking things for self. And you can hear it when they speak, because it's always about I, or me. There's no us. Very little us will you hear in that conversation. They pursue selfishness and defiles all sound judgment. The standing of the mother. If you feel like you lack it and you want it, then I tell you, ask of her. Ask of the Father who gives to all liberally without reproach, and it will be given to you. The one who does right in the eyes of the spirit of David. Did your father walk in the spirit of David? David walked in the ways of his father. Turn aside. Our hearts, my heart, has not turned back. Neither has my steps strayed from my mother's path. And I know the air can mock me excessively, but I don't swerve from the law of my mother. And many are my persecutors, my adversaries, from my mother's testimony, since I learned that my mother was the way of life. I give thanks to her and to the Father who taught me to honor and exalt the mother. I give thanks to my brother who is anointed with the love of the mother, praying always for you. And whatsoever you do, I ask that you would do it in word or in deed, giving thanks to the Father. And the widows in their affliction. And to keep one's self unspotted from the world. Because the Father's there, he's just not in their life. The fatherless is the one who has lost their father through death, through some turmoil, through something happening, and there's no father there, no one to help her. No family members, no loved ones. Supposed to walk, visit their husbands, and I'm not looking to marry again, but looking to live a holy life. But more than anything, I would ask you, if you truly believe in religion, I'm talking about the pure religion, is that you keep yourself unspotted from the world. Keep yourself unspotted from the world. Don't become like the world. Don't seek the world. Don't seek after the world. If you really want to bring change to this world, you have to walk away from this world. Salvation starts right there where you're standing or where you're sitting or where you are listening to me. Salvation starts right there within you. God is not a God of this world. Therefore, you should not desire that comes from this world or is given to you by this world. Desire that which is of God. Let us learn to walk in the love that God has called us to. That is the love of one another. Love is totally opposite of hate. Go and define love and then begin to walk in that you have defined. Hey, peace and one love. My name is Elijah X. I'm going to get out of here. And when I come back, we're still going to talk about Joseph and Mary. You know, Elizabeth was barren. And so she could bear this special child. That's deep. So y'all go and read that so we can talk about it when I come back. Hey, peace and one love. I want to thank you for joining me. I want to thank you for being a part of the African people of love. That's right. That's what it says right there. African people of love. Building strong communities. One aim, one destiny. Africa, meaning the dark-skinned race. As soon as I can figure out how to shut this down. I never know how to do this thing. I just do it the way I see best, you know. I'm gonna have to get them to teach me how to shit.